Welcome on in. Hey, it's Off the Edge, the podcast with me, your host, Cam Jordan, and I'm officially jobless. I'm in between contracts. I'm in between jobs. I don't know. I still got you. You still got me because we got Off the Edge, the podcast. I'm super excited to bring in who was a former teammate of mine for a brief second, a guy who has a Hall of Fame resume. A man who started off with the Redskins, went to the Denver Broncos, touched the Saints real quick. You know, a guy who had 3 first-team All-Pros, 4 second-team All-Pros, 12 Pro Bowls, was an NFL interception leader, a corner who spoke for himself. My guy, Champ Bailey.
Cam, how we doing?
Legendary. I love bringing in former teammates, even though it was one training camp. Yeah.
It was brief. It was all good though. I had a great time while I was there.
That's what I'm saying. Like we were just talking about it. Like you brought a veteran presence that we needed.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Sometimes all coaches see is like, oh, we got to get younger. When you have veterans that have proven themselves time in, time out, 12 Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
Even if you never touched the field, you would have helped the entire corner room. I would have paid just for the wisdom, and then still would let you play. Because if you can't play corner, fine, go play safety real quick. You were calling plays out in preseason games, and I was like, "Oh, he's real. We're going to win."
Well, I tell you what, man. I was 36 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was physically, I just couldn't keep going. I probably could have gave you 8 games.
Man, but 8 games would have corralled all our young guys.
I'm with you, but if you're not a starter,
you
know how it is. It's a numbers game. If you're not a starter, you got to play special teams, especially at corner. And you know damn well I was not playing special teams. So
no, you don't.
Yeah, so it was not at that point. But at the same time, man, you know, I was when I look back, I'm happy of the way it turned out because it would have been hell trying to get through that season. And I don't know if I was up for it.
No doubt. Well, I've seen some wild things in my time being in the league for 15 years. 2014, we in Virginia at training camp. You roll through there, and I'm like, you know, Sean Payton used to say, he used to say, we don't have to see it every day, but we do have to see it. And there was days I saw it, and I said, yeah, we got Champ Bailey. And then it was somewhere in there, preseason games going. I saw you playing in the 4th preseason game, and I said, this is so damn disrespectful.
Well, if you remember, I didn't play in a couple because I hurt my foot.
You tweaked something.
Plantar fascia thing. And then, you know how it is. They just need to get you back out there. Oh, yeah, he's healthy. Cut him.
Right.
You know, so you know how it is. You get your tape, and
I don't know how it is.
Well, you've seen guys go through this, right?
I've seen
guys go through that. Like, you know, they'll let you go in a heartbeat. You know, once they get you out there, they prove you're healthy. And I almost feel like they had to dodge that bullet because if they kept me around as an injured guy, you just never know what they would have to pay me. So, it's one of those things.
And my shoulder hurts.
And my shoulder. You know, I could have played that game, but, you know, I think I'm glad the way it worked out because he did me a favor. And, you know, what's crazy is now that Sean Payton's in Denver, I see him all the time. It's crazy. So it's just funny how things come full circle in this game, man. And I have no regrets about going to New Orleans and spending that few months that I was there. You know, I got to meet you and see y'all boys do y'all thing in y'all prime. So it was all worth it.
I'm upset. I wasn't thinking, as a year 4 player, about to be a year 4 player, I wasn't thinking farther enough ahead. Like when I started having like legends of the games, touch the team, in whatever capacity, I started getting their Saints style jerseys. You know, like I'm probably one of the few people that got the Brandon Marshall Saints jersey. I'm like, for sure.
See, I forgot about that.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Like if they touched it, like Adrian Peterson, got it. You know, Des Bryant, got it. Don't have a dadgum. You know, if you got a Saints Champ Bailey back there,
you don't want that ugly ass 27 anyway.
I do, because you're legendary, but it hits better when it's black and gold. And
I hear you.
You know, I'm that through and through. Like, yeah.
Maybe there's one out there because I don't have one either. So we're in the same boat.
Okay.
Maybe we can get some duplicates made. Let's do that.
Facts. I can work on that part.
Yes, sir.
You see the terrain, the coaching terrain as it's touching our NFL. We now have 9 NFL coaching openings. Whether that's New York, whether that's now the Steelers, the Ravens, the 2 newest additions with Harbaugh and Tomlin out of there. What happened? Like the loyalty, the Steelers don't part ways. Tomlin was their third head coach.
They've never done that. That's what's crazy. I think people need to understand, like, the Steelers only had 3 coaches in the history of that franchise. So you got to think.
Tomlin stepped down.
What does it look like for the next guy?
Right.
Like, I don't know if they're going to get that same runway. And you got to think Tomlin has never had a losing season.
The benchmark's high. Hey, appreciate you for taking us to the playoffs and never have a losing season, big fella. Get out of here.
So what does it really take to stay in a job like that? I don't know. Now, I'm understanding, and as I read the fine print, he stepped down, but we all know that thing had to be mutual because
amicable departure.
Yeah. Now, if he goes and he's coaching somewhere else next year, then we all know that he probably never wanted to step down.
Right.
So I could see him taking a break if that's the case.
Go to TV for a year. Pull a Sean Payton.
Yeah, go to TV. Oh my God, Peyton played that so well, right? And he played. I mean, he.
I'm taxed mentally. I need to step away from the game to TV for a season. Yeah, okay.
Dude, you are a coach through and through. We all know that, right? So understanding where he is, even Harbaugh, but Harbaugh's departure was a little different.
Right.
But both these guys were at their program for over 15 years. That's an eternity in this game. And the power and the leverage that they have now to further their career, I mean, it's at its peak. And it's nice to be a free agent these days when they're throwing around
nice to be a young free agent these days.
25 million for a head coach. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
I was thinking players. I was like, it's nice to be a young free agent right now. That's clearly my bias opinion. You sub 31? Oh
yeah. No matter what position. The money is out there, and it's so astronomically higher than when I played.
Well, my rookie year, and it's small, super small violins, right? My rookie year, I was like, Mama, I made it. You wouldn't even believe what my rookie contract is. Mama, I'm making $1,000 a day, every day of the year. Mama, my base pay is $365. I said, I went from college scrapping. Hey, Mom, let me get a band. Pops, let me get 500. My older brother, hey, bro, let me get 60 off you. I'm fighting to pay rent. I'm fighting to do all this. I picked up a job. These kids got NIL Era. These kids,
dude,
rookie pay scale north of 900.
Yeah, now it's 10,000 a day. It's beyond unreal at this point. And I'm happy for them. Even the college kids that are making money. I'm happy that now everybody's getting their due.
No doubt.
I think college is a little different because the pro structure is better. College is, it's wild west right now.
No doubt.
And and it's going to be like that until the grown-ups really start acting like grown-ups and put some structure in place for these kids and the coaches. I mean, it'll benefit everybody involved. But
absolutely.
That's a whole nother story.
You think it's making a better pro or a worse pro? Because at this point, now they got the money to get the massage and the prehab and not have to worry about school and
look, it ain't about giving the money. It's the structure around them moving around. Because a lot of times they're think about it. Let's just look at it this way. Who is advising them? We don't know.
Nobody does. Hey, nobody does.
We don't know.
Hey, you hope they got good parents in the corner, and you hope that they got a financial advisor in the corner.
But I can find out who your agent is right away and who's advising you because your agent is vetted and has to be approved by your union.
Certified. Absolutely. Who's going to create a college student union? That's tough. I mean, it's already hard to unionize 53 players by 32 teams, 69 players if you count practice squad players.
Yeah.
70 if you count the third.
You expect them to get on the same page about unionizing? They're not going to.
Impossible.
So that structure has to come from the adults in the room.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? And the lack of structure is allowing this thing to continue to be the way it is. And who's benefiting? Just look around, follow the money. I mean, the coaches are extremely beneficial from this process.
No doubt. The universities,
they move around just as much as anybody.
NCAA, they've been extremely beneficial. All right, so now teach the next generation on how to do things. And then it could be a better structure for the foreseeable future. But anyways,
simple as that. Simple as that.
Take me to the Broncos. How you feeling, Chip? Like I know, and if you go to multiple teams, you clearly get to have favorites, right? So you got two sons technically. You got the Washington and you got Broncos. Like Washington's out, so you don't have to worry about them this year. Broncos favorites.
Yeah. I mean, they both got in last year, so it was a little tough. I mean, thank God they were on opposite sides. But I do believe, the Broncos, I mean, they sit in a good spot, right? You got home field advantage.
Number one seed.
Yeah, number one seed, great defense. So they've done all the right things to get in this position. I think if there's anything that gives me pause, it's just the consistency from their offense. Like, they haven't been consistent. I think they'd be the first to tell you that's something that they know they have to shore up before they could beat the Buffalo Bills next week, or they could beat the team after that if they win this game. Defense is only going to take you so far.
Defense wins championships. I was just going to say.
Absolutely.
The edge.
You got to have
it. Alone, Cooper, Benito. You talk about Zach in the middle, Malcolm Roach in the middle. Pat Surtain on the corners, like they're doing some nasty work on the defensive side.
They got studs, and I believe they could be have the same impact on the other side of the ball. It just needs to happen more consistently. Yeah. I love the growth in Bo Nix and what he's been able to do in his second year. So just seeing, what they're up against and who they are, they're built to go deep in the playoffs and possibly win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, I feel like they could do it. They just have to click right now. It can't be relying on the defense this week and hoping the offense shows up the next week. The offense has to complement the defense, and it has to happen consistently. That's the only thing they miss most of the year. They did it when they had 2 fourth-quarter comebacks, all this stuff. That's great. You've been tested. But I saw the same thing sort of happen with my Bulldogs. Like, we got to the point where that offense just wasn't clicking at the right time.
Right.
And it was just too late to hit the switch. And you saw that against the Jaguars late in the season, right? So there's been evidence that could be the thing that kind of puts them behind or at least causes them to lose a game. They keep that thing on point, man, they could definitely be Super Bowl champs again.
I'll say you look at you could stay in the AFC. Did you see the Houston Texans game last night?
Oof.
I mean, if the offense felt like they were trying to give the Texans offense
give it away.
Trying to give it away. Defense was rolling on everything. I said that's the best tandem at defensive ends in the league right there with Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter.
And you can make a case for the corners too.
Man, going crazy.
My young dog, Kamari Lassiter, is so underrated. I mean, this dude is an animal on the corner. And you could just, it's funny, I met him before he left school. So it was right before his last year. And then immediately in the first 10 minutes of talking to him, I'm like, yeah, this kid's going to be a dog. Like I just knew it. Like, just by the way he was listening to me, the way we were talking, and he was giving me the feedback, the things he was talking about when we were working on the little press covers we worked on in that little time.
He was locked in and willing to work.
I was like, okay, this kid here gonna have a bright future.
Right.
And he is, dog, I am one of his biggest fans because he does what he says he's gonna do, and you could tell he's putting the work in. And man, when I watched him, I'm like, yeah, Sting is that man. Boy, they cannot sleep on number 4 on the other side. That dude is ready.
Right.
And he's so consistent. And I love watching him play, man.
I love how you keep dropping this consistent line. I've tried to tell people, I say, everybody's surprised about my longevity or the level of play. I said, consistency is key. The things that we do when we make it look routine, they start out routine.
Nah, bro.
I ain't nobody tell me that I was going to be one of the first ones to walk into the locker room and I was going to hot tub and I was going to take care of my body and I was going to do the things the right way. I had to learn that. But once it's learned, I don't give it back. I only improve the process.
I could say this, and I'm so glad I'm talking to you because you're somebody fighting to get to year 16. I was doing the same thing. And I feel like what disabled me from really going further was my lack of preparation. And what I mean is I couldn't practice the way I used to practice. I couldn't work the way I used to work. I probably don't have half as much data and information about what it takes to keep my body in shape as you have right now.
Yeah.
So
The
those
metrics is
things
different
factored
now.
into how quickly I could decline, or I did decline. And I'm not realizing it at the time. But when I look back, I'm like, dang, man, I missed all those practices. I hurt my foot my 15th year. I sat out most of that year. I came back. I was good for a short period of time. But you always know that catches up. It always catches up to you, that lack of preparation. Then I got to New Orleans. I couldn't practice.
Right.
But they do it in the same breath saying, we're trying to save your body. I'm like, nah, man, I got to work.
They stay trying to be like, yo, we're saving your body for later. For what later? I have played as much as I've wanted. I've lived out my dreams. This is my dream. Squeeze this dream dry. Like, don't be like, oh, but we're trying to prolong. I don't need to prolong. I have loved, I have lost, I have lived. Let me continue.
Yeah. So for all those that are like year 8, 9, 10, when you're approaching those double-digit years, find ways to continue to practice, work, and just take care of your body a little more. Like that's really what it's going to take.
I don't even believe in vet days. I didn't take not one practice off this year.
Well, you learned early. I wish I never did. I mean, some of it was caused by injury, but even before that, I would get days off randomly, and I would take them because I was tired at the time. But in hindsight, I'm like, man, all that stuff added up to not working, which ultimately affected me on some level. So keep working, man. You got to keep working.
Got to. All right, let's go over the the playoffs right now. Let's talk about it. I just want to know your remaining playoffs. Let's go game by game here. See what you think about the matchups. Right? Divisional round. Bills, Broncos. Bills at Broncos. They don't have Mafia Nation.
Do I have to talk about this one? Come on.
If there's going to be a year for Josh Allen to win, it has to be this year, because next year there's going to be a lot of revenge seasons.
I hear you, but I'm not buying into this is their year because they didn't prove it through the season.
Oh, I didn't say it was their year. I said
it should be, right?
If they were to win,
you're right.
It'd have to be this year.
Because all the monsters is out. The Chiefs are out.
Ravens,
everybody the
usual
Bengals
suspect,
is out.
Joe Burrow,
the Ravens is out. Like, they're all out. The quarterbacks that he's also had to deal with. But again, like, here's this monster of the Denver Broncos. This defense. There is no way that he's looking forward to this one, especially after putting them out last year.
Right.
So I know they're ready for him this year. So the best thing they got going for them is that guy behind Josh Allen. And if they can find a way to get him going, then they'll give Denver problems.
I said, let Cook eat. Let Cook.
Bro. The fact that they don't have that type of defense that we've seen in the past, that Josh Allen has had, I don't feel like their defense is as strong as they've been.
Yeah.
But they got to figure it out against this Broncos team, because 2 weeks to prepare, Sean Payton's coming with it. So
he's been in the lab for the last week and a half.
He probably gave
the players about 4 or 5 days off. Hey, man, y'all go rest up.
He did last week. Yeah, so I was privy to their schedule last week. And, I know they got like 4 or 5 days off. They came back for the weekend.
Right.
So just understanding they've had their rest. Now they're back to the drawing board. And I'm looking forward to this one because, like you say, if this was a year for Josh Allen, I mean, if there was a year, this is it. Like, this is the moment.
We will keep calling him, I call him Andrew Luck 2.0. Like, I've seen this.
But that's why I love football so much, because year to year, you have no idea who would have predicted the Broncos and the Seahawks be number 1 seeds. Nobody predicted that. All right. Everybody had the usual suspects. So here we go. My Broncos got it.
Yep. Then you got, what do you got? You got Houston and Patriots?
Yeah. So Drake May did not look impressive to me. Right? So
a win is a win.
A win is a win. Their defense, though, is legit. I mean, not giving up a touchdown to high caliber quarterback like Herbert. Look, man, the sky's the limit with this team. Well. If they take care of the football, Drake May just didn't look comfortable all night playing that game. So
CJ Stroud didn't look comfortable all night.
Yeah, exactly. So defense help them overcome those problems.
All right, so we give the edge to who?
How often can you just lean on the defense like that without complimenting them on some level? And that didn't happen for the Patriots, at least not enough.
Right.
They played against a lesser team that just couldn't keep up with them. Now, you talking about the Texans?
Right.
Look, man, you ain't putting up 25, 30 points on these boys. It ain't happening.
Go get it. The corner's going to go get it. Where are you going to find your win? You got to methodically place yourself in the right position.
Yeah. So I do feel like both teams got to figure out how to get their young quarterbacks to play more consistently and not put their defense in a bind.
So who you can miss to?
Short fields are not that's not a recipe for wins. Houston overcame it because I feel like the Steelers to me had been frauds all year. Like their division was just down. They ended up sneaking out with the win of the division. Great. But I just never felt like they were going to advance in the playoffs. And the Texans definitely tried to give it to them. But, the better team won.
So you're saying...
I love the Texans.
There we go. All right, what about Niner Seahawks?
Oof. Seahawks. I'm not even going to get into it. I like the Niners. I just don't feel like...
I think the Niners are like that team that's one unit. You know what I'm saying? Like on paper they look like they're not as advantageous as anybody they face, and yet they don't. They match up well versus anybody because they play as a true team. Special teams, offense, defense. They are the well coordinated team that you're like, damn. If we slip up, they're going to take over.
The thing I like about them. I like this. I'm going to tell you, I said I like the Seahawks, but I'm going to tell you why I like the 49ers as a team. Because they're finding success with other guys. Like DeMarcus Robinson. Where the hell did he come from? Like, I saw him play a couple weeks ago. He made a few plays. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. They usually spread it out a little bit. And then he goes off in the playoff game. I'm like, well, damn, what if Jennings gets going? And we all know they got to worry about CMC back there. Like, so dealing with all those facts, if they could, now losing Kittle's really hurts. So they got to find production at that tight end position because they love to do a lot with the tight ends.
Right.
If they can find success with the guys that are really role players, then I could see them getting to the Seahawks. But the Seahawks just went to San Francisco and beat the dog mess out of them a couple of weeks ago. So I don't feel like they're gonna overcome that. They got to go on the road to Seattle, and that defense is another monster.
Marcus Lawrence, big Leo Williams in the middle out there,
and their secondary is loaded with talent. I mean, it's one of those teams, man. They surprised me, and I think that the thing that they figured out is get consistent play from the quarterback.
Yep.
And then JSN is a whole nother animal that emerged out of nowhere. Like, we all knew he was talented, but damn, now you're talking about him possibly being one of the best in the league.
Right.
Nobody saw that coming. So when you have young guys kind of overachieve for your team, that's when success starts to happen.
Right.
I mean,
especially teams-wise, they got Rashid. Oh my God! The need for speed. I said, damn, you took out special teams king. And now you're looking kingly again.
Yeah, they are loaded with talent. And that was just the icing on the cake.
So you got Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks.
All right, what about Rams, Bears?
Ooh, I don't think the Bears are ready.
I didn't know if the Bears were going to be ready the last game. And they from that deficit, they fought back.
I haven't been a believer in Green Bay.
Right.
So I'm not surprised that they won the way they did. Now, I do not see the Bears winning this game. The
Rams?
The Rams are just
Aaron Williams in the back. You got Matt Stafford wheeling and dealing at the highest level.
And
Puka,
who's going to stop Puka? Who's going to stop him? And
Devontae, sheesh,
yeah, man. They got weapons, and I've never seen a quarterback so on point at this point in his career than Matthew Stafford.
Right.
And the defense is the defense. We all know they got a great defense too.
Jared Verse, Byron Young.
Thank you.
Man, you got Kobe Turner in the middle. You got dogs. Linebackers out there. He earned himself a new contract the way he was playing.
I got the Rams. So let's end the conversation.
All right, cool. Yeah, we can end the conversation. Who do you got winning the Super Bowl? And then we'll move on.
I think I'm gonna put the Rams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that.
And I'm gonna say they're gonna play my Broncos.
Okay.
And we're gonna get that 4th championship for my Broncos. So we got to get it, man. We got to get it. I mean, this is a year.
I got friends. I got real friends, previous teammates that I just root for. I want everybody to lose if I'm on the couch. But
yeah, when I was there in the preseason, you have side conversations with Sean Payton. He's gonna give you something.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Yeah, man, this is a Super Bowl caliber team."
Yeah,
he's not predicting that. I'm like, okay, to be talking like that in the preseason. Yeah, okay. But not even the preseason. This was early in the offseason. He was like, obviously, we got to go work, but we got the tools to do it. And I'm like, yeah, all right. And then, it just progressed from there. I'm like, damn, okay.
He called
you said it. He's, you don't, I don't take those kind of comments lightly because this dude has seen more football than anybody.
Yeah.
And to know that you have that kind of talent around you or the possibility of being that good, dude, you got to buy into it. And you know how it is, man. You got to go play the game. But at the same time, man, there's so much good football knowledge out there from guys like him that I'm like, I don't ever take anything he says about the game lightly because these dudes know the game. They've been around it. They've been in these rooms. They've been around other great coaches. So just knowing that, I'm like, okay. So it gave me confidence for my guys to go out there and do what he said they were going to do. And here they are, number one seed on that path.
No doubt.
Let's see. Let's go play the game and see what happens.
Denver looking to make something shake. My question, how'd you even leave? Maybe I'm just not old enough. Like, how'd you end up leaving Washington to go to Denver? You get one in Denver.
I got traded.
Yeah, but how does that happen? You like a cornerstone again.
Well, okay. So let me give
Pro
you
Bowler, the cornerstone of a franchise.
Right. I'll give you some context. When I got drafted, I was drafted by Charlie Casserly in 1999. That summer of 1999, Dan Snyder bought the team. Mm-hmm. So I was never one of his guys. I was always from the old regime, even though I started my rookie year as him being my owner. So fast forward to the next year, they draft LeVar Arrington and Chris Samuels, number 2 and number 3. Fast forward a couple years later, both those dudes signed extensions before I signed mine, or before they offered me an extension. So when it was time for me to sign my extension, and they waited to my final year to try to re-sign me, they offered me nothing. They didn't. I wouldn't have been the highest paid corner, which I deserved to be at the time. Mm-hmm. I've been to 4 straight Pro Bowls.
Yeah. Pay me for services rendered. I'm everything you're supposed to be.
I had done everything that you could possibly do on the field to earn that paycheck. But I remember I was never one of their guys.
Right.
And that, I don't know why, that always carried weight with people like him. And fortunate enough for me, I was franchised. So when they franchised me, you got to think, I got to sign my tag in order for them to trade me. So I was able to see the offers out there. I had 2 offers on the table, one for Denver and one for the Jets. The one for Denver was for 7 years, one for the Jets was for 6 years. And Denver basically offered me what I asked for. So the offer that was on the table was what I asked for from the Redskins at the time. Denver looked at it and was like, oh, no doubt, we'll pay that. Now you got to think. At that point, I'm thinking I'm leaving money on the table because they took the offer. When somebody just bites on the first try.
Like, nah, I gotta throw some more up there, yeah.
But I didn't do that. I stuck to my guns. I
appreciate it.
So ultimately, once I knew the offer was what I wanted it to be, I signed the franchise tag. They traded me to Denver for Clinton Portis and a 2nd-round pick. So
we got returned.
When I got to Denver, Shanahan was like, I didn't think we would get the 2nd-round pick, but I asked for it because a running back is a little more glamorous position, right?
Right.
And Clinton Portis
and he's nice.
Clinton Portis was balling.
Right.
So I'm a little upset that he's actually leaving the team on one hand, but at the same time, we got this second round pick that we later used on Tatum Bell, who came in, wore the same number as Clinton, and actually had a good couple years with us before he was traded to Detroit. But long story short, man, that's why I left Washington.
Right. And I was go to Denver and you elevated your play even further with the all-pro joints and you know what I'm saying? Like,
and I was going to a franchise that was known for getting in the playoffs every year.
Right.
Great running scheme, always in the playoffs, always a chance to win it. That's all I wanted. I just wanted a chance to go win a title.
You got traded. So how did you elevate your play after the trade? Like, you were already a Pro Bowler. And you entered the Denver enters the chat. You like, oh, I appreciate you. Let me go a whole nother level.
So one thing you haven't experienced because you've been in the same place. When you go to another team, people look at you differently. Now I'm walking into this locker room. I'm the highest paid player on the team.
Right.
You know, I'm going into my 6th year. I'm in the prime of my career. So all the young guys are looking at me. And I've known nothing but one thing is to work. Like, I took practice seriously. And I think that's what Shanahan really bought into. You know, at the time, they were dealing with Peyton Manning and that receiving core in the playoffs. Yeah, like, they had been put out of the playoffs. He was eating them up in the playoffs every year. So they knew they needed a cover corner. But also, Shanahan was big about practice. He was like, I don't care what happens on game day. Every day you step out on that field, I want to see you practice hard. I knew nothing different. So when he would use my film and cut-ups to point to, oh, this is how you work. And I'm like, damn, you know, he's always putting me out there, but it was what it was. It's just what I did. I didn't know any different. And it was fortunate enough for me. I had Rod Smith on the other side, who was just like me, but he was an offensive player, seasoned vet. So I was happy that I had somebody like that to lean on and really learn. Like, he was a pro's pro. And he was always 100% attendance at workouts in the off season. Right. So I tried to just sort of follow that. So again, I understand I'm in my 6th year.
Say that a little louder though. With 100% attendance in the OTA part. Say that a little louder.
100% every year.
That's the April, May, June workouts that guys be like,
when it's not mandatory.
Like, I'm gonna be there, and then don't be there. As a young player. Now, as a vet, after you get your own little routine, sure. But as a young player, when they be like, man, I'm gonna be there, 40, 50%. As a young player, year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bro, this is your prime to take advantage of everything.
Yeah. I give him a lot of credit for, one, seeing and appreciating the way I work, but also duplicating that on the other side of the ball. So it kept me competitive and also just kept me on top of my game. Right. And, I knew nothing else but to work. Like, so for me, it wasn't like I had to figure out how to be a pro. I'm just working. And then the results are the results. Like, I don't care about that. Like, every day.
And as a corner, bro, you really didn't miss tackles. Like you came to us and I was like, Champ look like, he's older. He ain't trying to hit nobody. And you was surefire smacking cats. I said, yo.
That was all pride.
Here.
I was very prideful in making sure that I tackled. I did everything, because one thing about guys I played with, like Darryl Green, Deion Sanders, they were known for not wanting to tackle, but they would tackle, but they didn't want to tackle.
Right.
I wanted people to believe I wanted to tackle, I will tackle, and it might hurt. So
if it's going to hurt me, it's got to hurt you.
It was purposeful.
Right.
Like, I didn't like to run up on these big boys, but if the opportunity presented itself, I'm doing it. That's just the way I was raised and how I just carried myself as I prepared to play games. Like,
nothing gets a defense more hype than seeing a corner break early to go for a tackle to the flat, make a running back's ankles touch his ears, just a scorpion style, bomb.
Yeah, like, and that's what I love about Kamari Lassiter when I brought him up. Like, it's really the tackling. It's like, dude, you got to understand the attitude you got to have to go up there and hit bigger guys over and over again. Everybody's bigger than us as corners.
Hell yeah.
So when you have to do that over and over again, man, you got to really take pride in that. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
So especially now in today's game, could you imagine you got to pull in tackle or guard and you're no longer allowed to chop underneath them?
Oh, yeah. I avoided a couple of those big guys, but that was by design. Like, I always knew, like, I'm not about to run up. I'll never forget Larry Allen was pulling. The great late Larry Allen was pulling around on a reverse. And I made a miss. The unfortunate part is I missed the damn running back. And I was like, man, I got to figure out. It wasn't a runner, it was a receiver. I got to figure out how to get to him without hitting this big guy. And you can't really practice that. I just kept watching it on tape. I was like, okay, if I just jump outside, jump back in. And you know who was really good at it was another one of my draft mates, Antoine Winfield. He was really good at taking himself out of it and then jumping back in it. Oh my God. Yeah, senior, right. And, you know, he was special in that way. So I tried to emulate a lot of that. And, you know, it happens maybe 3 times a year. So it wasn't like it was a constant thing. It was just every now and then there's a lineman going to run up on you. Yeah. What are you going to do? Well, for one, I'm not hitting it. So I got to figure out how to dodge him without taking myself out of the play. And I did it successfully a couple times, but you know, a lot of times I just get out of the way and let the big boy just come clean it up.
Right. No, the best way to make that tackle is you know what I'm saying? But then again, I'm bigger. So I'm like, I'm going through him.
Yeah, see, that's you.
I'm meeting him at the top.
You deal with these big boys all day, every day.
No doubt.
When I see them, it's foreign to me. Like, what in the hell do I do? And
I may lay up every now and again as a switch up. Yeah, for sure.
Bro. Yeah, bro.
For sure. I mean, you were at the Broncos for a number of years before Peyton entered over to the Broncos, and once he did, you know, you guys go 13-3 the first season, 13-3 the second season, go to the Super Bowl. You know, like it's a fairy tale story. Like,
it sort of is until we lost in the Super Bowl, and then you know it is what it is at that point. But I remember, you know, when he did come, it was right after Tebow. And this was I think it was Elway's second year, because Elway's first year, we had Tebow. We had the playoff game where he threw past the DT in overtime and all this. So a lot of great hoopla that year. But Elway, he's a traditional quarterback, right? So he wanted a traditional quarterback.
Pocket passer, immediately when he got Peyton. Right.
Immediately when he got Peyton, I'm like, yeah. Now I could go win my championship. We obviously came up short, but it was a great experience because it sort of reinvigorated my career at a time where I knew I was on the back end. Like I could feel it. But when he came in 2012, it just kind of ignited something. And I made the Pro Bowl that year. I got hurt the next year, and then I ended up leaving the following year. It's just an unfortunate quick decline for me because of my health and obviously my age.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience to see him be a leader that he was, because everything that was talked about before he got there, I mean, it was by the book.
You go to practice, and it ain't no iron sharper than iron. This is one of the greatest of all time. Yeah. I got to be on 10 so I can match his energy.
And you knew it. And it was good to see him prepare and practice the way I want my teammates to practice. Right. And that's really why they ended up winning the championship later, because he just instilled so many high-level qualities in the offense that just resonated and carried over to that Super Bowl year when they won it in 2015.
Right. I'll say a few years later, they win that thing. That's just legendary for the Broncos. I mean, does it bother you that much that you weren't part of that Super Bowl win?
Not really. You know, I think my story was just my story. And, you know, my journey was my journey. And I never get caught up in it. I think at the time, I was so connected to so many guys on the team. A lot of them were calling me after the fact, and I was calling them and congratulating them. And I was still connected to the team. I felt like I was a part of it. And
at that point, just go be a QC, man.
Yeah, like,
hey, get back behind the lines. Hey, man, we did it.
You know, right? But nobody offered me those jobs. Nobody even offered me to play safety. Maybe I should have just demanded it, but you know, I was at the back end of my career anyway. So I'm actually happy that I played all my 15 years at corner.
At corner.
And I did it at a high level. So I'm proud of that. But in hindsight, no, I have I have no regrets. I'm just happy that I'm a part of a franchise that appreciates people like me to this day. And anything that they win, I feel like I'm a part of it.
Absolutely, man. That's like I said, rare air.
Yeah.
When you talked about, what were you? We were 36 when you retired. I just had I was 36. I am 36 this year. And I'm over here loving practice. I'm like, it's crazy to think the later season you got, and you saw guys like, man, I'm sore. G, like, hey, bro, I'm banged up. I'm like, yeah, it hurts, doesn't it?
So I do have a question. I got a question for you though, because Sean Payton was one way, and I don't think there's anybody like him, right? What was it like when he left?
Hey, you saw our condition test. The shit we was doing, nobody's touching.
I didn't participate.
Ain't nobody messing with that. And now he's all like, I'm calling my boys over at Denver, like, yo, what's conditioning like? He's like, nah, we sort of just, we pay attention to the metrics and
it was unnecessary, bro.
Yeah, we were the older child. You know what I'm saying? Like, how your parents have an older child and they get through all the blood work. We go through hell and high water. And then you have that last child. And they get loved on, and like you like he ain't got a curfew, he ain't got to do chores. What the? You know what I'm saying? But they get some of the process. That's what Denver is right now. You know what I'm saying? They getting all the good without all the trials and tribulations. They getting he's already find out his cultivated techniques of what it is now. Like the game when he first started was. Was two-a-days, was those grinder, practice hit in the morning and hit at night. And then by the time I got there, it was just like hit in the morning and a walkthrough, but it felt like we were still practicing. And now it's like a pure, like, hey, dial back practice. And then like, hey, we'll take care of you. It's
man. Yeah.
Good for them. Good for them that he's adapted.
I guess he's grown up.
Yeah, he's adapted. Hey, tell me about your movie, man. Like I heard about it. I saw it released.
That's why we're here now.
Yeah, we're here to push a movie. That I got all excited because the kid in me was like, damn, this was Champ. He was a part of my team, and I got to see greatest. But tell me about your movie, man.
Well, the movie is called Signing Tony Raymond. Now, it's about this high school coach that has to find a way to sign this 5-star athlete, Tony Raymond. And he's jumping through all these obstacles, dealing with family. But in order to save his job, he got to sign this kid. So it takes place in rural Alabama. It was all filmed here in Georgia. Georgia investors, everything about it is Georgia grown. But
hate that for me, but love that for you.
For the story, it takes place in rural Alabama.
Yeah.
And the moment he shows up, he's just dealing with the family. The mom is a little wacky. Stepdad is, trying to manipulate him for the money. The bag man come bring him from, it's just a lot of what we saw when we were recruited back in the day before NIL, but then also the idea of NIL and what it means. So it's a really good story. And it's more, the thing is, some of these things will resonate with you because you probably dealt with it as a high school athlete, right?
With you because you were like a 5-star prospect, and you had school. You want me to drop this bag off here in the front? No, in the front, brother. Take it to the side. Like, as a 3-star prospect, I didn't have that.
So, but what I love about it, and what really made me buy into it was it just wasn't just about the game, because there's really no football highlights in the movie or football like. It's really no football stuff on film. Like it's all about the story behind the scenes and what's going on, trying to sign this kid and all the things that this recruiter is trying to do to get this kid to sign with his school. Now, the talent that we have in this movie, Mira Sorvino, Academy Award winner, Rob Morgan, another acclaimed actor, Michael Mosley, our lead character, and Jackie Kay, who plays Tony Raymond. But we also got Marshawn Lynch in the movie. Like
I didn't get no call. You know what?
Yeah, we didn't. So the next one, you number one on the list. Yes. So I got a cameo from Takeo Spikes, Charles Woodson, Richard Sherman, Jesse Palmer, Harry Douglas. The Boz is in the movie. Brian Bosworth. The Boz is in the movie.
Out there printing his own t-shirts still.
Dog, he is. Well, first of all, when I went to Austin, Texas for the film festival, he lives in Austin, out of all places, being an Oklahoma Sooner. So I never understood that, but he said he loves it there. But we there and we're talking, we're doing this thing. I did this 100 yards with Champ. It's more like a walk and talk. And one of the best people I've been around, filming this movie. So
when you say filming this movie, like how deeply involved were you? You like we were there.
Well, first of all,
Georgia homegrown. It sounded like you was an EPP.
I was an executive producer. I helped get some of the talent. Obviously, all the guys I named, I helped bring them to the table. And
all these text messages, my phone.
They all did me the favor. Like it was, I'm just happy that they obliged, man. It was. I got to give them credit. Without them, I don't think it would be as special as it is.
Yeah.
But I when they said action and cut, I had nothing to do with that.
Okay.
I was not. The writer director is Glenn Owen. He used to play basketball at Georgia, but he's been in the filmmaking business for years. So this is his biggest feature film as well. He's worked on smaller projects, and we all had mutual connections, and that's how I got to the film. I knew I had to have real experts running this thing because, dog, this thing has been 3 years in the making. Now, he wrote the script maybe 10, 12 years ago.
Right.
Updated it as he went. But I came on board about 3 years ago. And that's why now I'm so excited about it because it's actually released this Friday, January 16th. And it's the first time I've ever done anything like this. But you know how it is, man. We don't walk in the rooms pretending we know everything. You let the experts be the experts. You play your role. So I just played my role. Whatever they asked of me, that meant they thought I could do it. So that's when I'd step in. Absolutely. So I didn't have a lot to do with the actual filming, but getting people together, the investors,
you were the relations guy.
Stuff.
You were the
we pulled things together,
and
now here I am talking about it, and it's a finished product. So it's one of those films, man. Anybody can watch it. I mean, I think it's PG-13, so it's a good family movie. Yeah. And I think who it'll resonate with most is moms that are dealing with this, because there's a lot of single moms out there dealing with their kid being recruited and how to deal with it. Ultimately, you will see the story go to the part where it's not about the money. It's not about anything except the relationships and really just taking advantage of the space you're in and also being nurtured and people caring about what you are into. That'll make sense when you watch it. But yeah, man, it's a great movie. Everybody that's watched it say I was surprised by the comedy, but also by the story. It's one of those that it'll tug on those strings a little bit more than you would expect.
No doubt. Shoot, I'm gonna have to take wifey to it. I don't know about the kids. The kids, if it's not action, then 10, 9, 7, 5, they get a little rowdy.
It's a little bit of action, but not a lot. Not a lot.
Right now they're big into Zombies 4, and I got 3 girls. So if they can't dance to it, they're like, "What are we doing?" But my son's locked in, so I'll take wifey and my son and go see it, because that man he's like, yo, granddad was a football player, dad's a football player, I'm a football player. Oh, but there's other sports. In fact, go be a doctor, bro. Like,
there you go.
But anyways, I appreciate you for stopping on the pod. I know I didn't kept you longer than I meant to, but everything you do, bro, is legendary. These side missions, bro. You started up the whole movie.
Wait till you retire. It's gonna be so much stuff that come at you, and you're gonna have to figure out what do I partake in. Like, and as things come, I don't turn anything away. Like, I let me see it, let me read, and then I'll just say yes or no. Like, it is what it is. Like, and I think people appreciate that, because I feel like football prepared me for everything, and I'd be damned if I'm not gonna look at everything that I want to look at and take advantage of it if it makes sense.
For sure. And you're willing to do the work. Signing Tony Raymond, huh? Okay.
Signing Tony Raymond, baby.
This week, I'm excited. Just to be talking to you. Legendary Hall of Famer, of course. Everything that you do is been a standard or a staple for the next generations to look at. So appreciate you for coming by the pod. Shout out to the listeners. Get your podcast anywhere you can. iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, all podcast platforms. And of course, we're on NFL's YouTube page. I'm Cam Jordan off the edge. This is my dog, Champ Bailey, the champ.